Now tell me, Rindo, if a certain or a particular manga series, a light novel perhaps, has reached a certain milestone, whether it be celebrating the anniversary ever since its release, or perhaps the number of chapters that it has reached, right? That sort of milestone, of course, would be something tremendous and it would have to be celebrated. And in the ways of celebrating it, it could be in the form of, I don't know, perhaps it could be a special illustration, a special chapter, announcement of sorts. Again, this really varies from from different mangas as well, from different publishers and the different authors and creators who would go about celebrating their, the milestone that they have achieved, right? For instance, most notably, I guess you could pick out 10th anniversary chapters, for instance, right? That's a thing. And what I want to talk about in today's video is the 100th chapter of this manga series, the 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You. Now, there's quite a lot to unpack here, really, and a lot of things that I have to say about this as well, right? And this is just my own opinion. Now, in a story, right, a story in which it has that sort of cohesive narrative, a narrative that is really dynamic, that's really continuous, in which one episode has a really strict storyline to it, and in the next episode it really does have to follow suit to that storyline, right? And I suppose I guess to how I see it, inserting a sort of special chapter or a filler chapter there would be quite difficult in a sense, of course, unless if they've already finished that sort of storyline, that sort of arc. But rushing it would be, that's not good, right? And if you want to have a special filler, then I suppose you could make one on as a bonus chapter, I suppose, or if the as a bonus chapter. That's all I can really think about, really. So yeah, there's that. Again, this is just my opinion on how I would view it, right? But in the case of a love comedy manga series such as this one, The 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You. Okay, don't get me wrong. Yes, it indeed does have a dynamic narrative, right? There is really a flow to the story. There are a lot of different arcs within it, and some chapters are how would I put it, as a for fun chapter, right? Where they're just playing around, right? It really does have substance to them. That's what I'm trying to say. This manga really does have a solid story to it, and I'm loving every single second of when I read it, every single moment of this. But when it comes to the 100th chapter of it, the way they sort of celebrated this milestone, right? Since in the title of this manga series, the 100 Girlfriends, right? And the 100th chapter, right? They were at 19 girlfriends. So, there's that. But regardless, it's still, the 100th number is still there. So, that's something to really celebrate and talk about, right? Now, I want to go back to one other chapter in this manga specifically, which is the the merch chapter. Now, if you don't know, for those of you who are unaware, alright, this manga, one of the comedic elements found in this manga is the fourth wall breaks. Now, in one of the chapters, they were showcasing a chapter in which the whole narrative of that specific chapter revolved around the girlfriends, the characters interacting using, right, their own merchandise, such as keychains, the buttons, the pins, I suppose, yeah, and all that. And do note as well that this is indeed legit, right? Like, they are truly selling 100 girlfriend. The 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You merch. This is actually real, and they put that in the manga series. What? It always blows my mind as to how well this story can be so fun, so creative with its story writing in general. The author Nakamura Rikito Sensei really tremendously good job with it. I love it so much. So yeah, within that chapter, there's a lot of fourth wall breaks going on here and there, right? So I don't know if you would find it like concerning, but for me, I just find it to be just really fun and hilarious, and I love it. Now, in the same sense of this 100 in this 100th chapter, right? Um, this particular chapter revolves around a popularity poll where they ranked the most popular girlfriend, the most popular heroine. And again, there's that sort of feeling, right, where you know that this is clearly something that's I don't know, that's filler ish, right? But yet it's not projected as a bonus chapter or whatnot. It is really a chapter within this manga. It is the 100th chapter, right? And oh man, I don't know how to spin this. There's a lot to take in, right? But anyway, I just wanted to share with you first the whole event of what happened in this 100th chapter. So the family are gathered in the rooftop, and they just announced that to celebrate the 100 chapters, we're gonna do a character popularity poll. Now the maid May has this sort of envelope, right, that she received containing the list of rankings among the girlfriends. And I also like the remark that Hahari made, where in this specific chapter, the illustrator Nozowa Yukiko Sensei wanted to redraw, right, the characters in a special dress to to celebrate this momentous occasion. I love it. So, as May opens up the envelope, waiting in anticipation as the girlfriends try to, to see who was really the first, the name that was called out was Mimimi, right? And she's now seen in this redrawn in this really gorgeous dress, and she's just really happy about it, just flexing that naturally sort of bit. If you're familiar with the manga, then you know what I'm talking about, right? It's classic Mimimi, right? Classic Mimimi, and the way that she's just so really happy about it just makes my heart like, okay, yeah. But of course, this is a manga where heroines don't lose. No heroines will lose. All heroines will be included, and it's such a good again, I think I've said this before, it's one of the really beautiful things that I really love about this series as well, is that no heroines are forgotten, right? Now, once Mimi's name was called, right, first off, after her name was called, May then read out the comments regarding her, regarding her, right? Saying that she is the picture of beauty and the like, and she's not just beautiful on the outside but on the inside as well, all that sort of stuff, right? So essentially just good comments. Now, out of nowhere, May dug around again further into the envelope, and she noticed another card, which means another letter saying that this person also won first place. And then it turned to Yamame, who won first place, who shared first place rather. So the gag is like, and the sharing first place along with Mimi is Yamame. And of course the comments are read about why she is so, why she's so good, why she's ranked number one, and this whole thing goes on until the only ones who were not called out for being first yet were Kusuri, Kurumi, Karane, Hakari, Kishika, and Nadi. So it's like the one that the remark that Kusuri made, I don't want to not be first place, right? Or I really want to be first place. I want to be the one, not the only one who didn't get first place or something like that. And so each of the remaining girlfriends were called in. They were ranked first as usual, gave their comments about it, until it remained down to two heroines. Nadi Sensei, the Japanese teacher who speaks English, and Kishika, the baby knight with a melty face, right? Now, the one who took, right, the sharing of the first place was Kishika. Then Nadi Sensei was bummed out by this. She was really feeling sad, and the girls told her that we love you, Nadi Sensei. I love her too, and it made her feel better. But then out of nowhere, May took out another envelope. There's another envelope hidden inside, and revealed that Daddy Sensei was actually also sharing first place along amongst with the rest of the girlfriends. Yes! Here comes a real mad lad part of this chapter, right? A real juicy one. So as May finally wraps things up, as she was about to wrap things up, she noticed something different within the envelope. There was another hidden paper that was sort of like rolled so thinly. It's like something that you'd see out of a spy movie, right? Someone trying to send a secret code or something. So as she unraveled that piece of paper, it was revealed that Rentaro, the protagonist of this manga series, this harem series, also shared first place with the rest of the girlfriends, and all of these different comments came rushing in about him, and I absolutely love it. It's like the I Love You chapter all over again, but it's really, really condensed, right? Really just the sort of main gist, I suppose, on showing how great Rentaro is, and even at times you can already tell from the dialogue alone, from the message alone, you can already tell which girlfriend this is from, and I absolutely love it. I'm not complaining at all. Some comments are really wholesome, some are funny and the like. However way you wanted to see it, go for it. But at the end of the day, Rentaro really does deserve to be best girl as well. Forgot to mention this as well, but in the votes of this of the rankings, right, each of the girlfriends, and I mean literally each, right, had a vote of, what is it, 99 dash 99 million 99 999,000 or something, I forgot. There's a lot of nines, right? Essentially, it's like the calculator, but you just type 999999999 in order to really get the maximum amount. That's essentially it, right? And the entire vote was what was it, 2 billion or something in total. Essentially, they all win, right? They're all winners. I also love how they added other placers, right? Other placers of the rankings in this popularity contest, so to speak, in the last page of this manga series, of this manga chapter, right? And this is something else. Now, according to the poll, right, of the rankings, right, in 24th place you have Nozuwa Yukiko Sensei. Now, she is the illustrator of this manga series, right, as I've said. And why is she there in the poll? Well, because she made an appearance in the in this manga series in one of the chapters, right, in chapter 69, when they met Momiji, right. Now, of course, it's blurred out, right, and this sort of comedic characterization, right, of in order to protect the privacy, and that's something I really love about it. So yeah, it's a list of other characters such as the gorilla delinquent, right, the Pentaro, Uncle Hero, Kusuri's parents, Hakari's dad, Hakari's husband, and the like, and so on and so forth. So this is a fun chapter, another reminder to us that all the girls are best girls, are ranked number 1 as they should be. And I should also mention as well that within the celebration of the 100 chapters, or the 100th chapter I should say, the illustrator Nozuwa Yukiko Sensei also illustrated a really gorgeous drawing, right, really gorgeous illustration of the girlfriends, the current girlfriends, right, as of that time. In the comments, you also get a good idea of these heroines, why they are loved. It's like a sales pitch, right, where they're pitching their appeal, and of course, who other than Rentaro himself would be the one to write all these comments. All these comments that were read so far, all of them really were clearly coming from Rentaro. And it makes you think, right, that Rentaro himself could be the one who manually voted, manually wrote a lot of reasons why, why this heroine, this person deserves to be ranked first, and they're also the ones who inputted the vote. And that's something that I clearly know that Rentaro is capable of pulling it off ever since we know about the I Love You chapter. The one where it has the page of Rentaro just spewing out all these um I love you reasons, right, of why he loves the girlfriends. If you don't know about it, there's this really this manga panel floating around. I suppose you've probably seen it before, where it's the one where Rentaro was going like this. He has this really calm looking face, but in the entire panel itself, it's a 2-pager. It's just filled with a lot of words. These words contain the reasons of why he really loves the girlfriends. Still, the mad lad thing about this as well is that you take that, right, then you multiply it by 19 with the amount of girlfriends currently as of the 100th chapter. So truly absolute really reached the billions part of it. And you know what, if in the sense that Rentaro did that, right, and if it were the case that we as the audience would vote, the readers, I suppose, yeah, the readers would be the ones to cast our vote as well as to who we think would be the first. There's no doubt in my mind that we too would do the same as Rentaro, where we would fill out a lot of these other papers, just writing out all the reasons why we love these heroines, all of them, putting it in, locking in our vote, and making sure that they really do win, Each of the girlfriends also has their own unique dress design, right? Their gala dress. Perhaps it could be a mimic or a reflection of their character, or maybe it's just something that they just look good in, right? I don't know. But at the end of the day, they still look good in whatever dress they have, even if they mix it up. Right, I argue that they still look good. Their reactions to taking first place as well really, really makes my heart, heals my heart, right? Some take it proudly, such as Mimimi and Yaku. Some take it humbly, like Yamame and Chiyo. Some take it with, doubt, or, like they're really concerned, like, is this really, do I really deserve this, or something like that? The same way with Mei and Hahari. Some take it as is, like, cool, I won, yay! Like, Momiji and Ako, God bless their souls. And as for the order of how they announced as to who was ranked first place, in the first, as I've said before, the one who was announced first was Mimimi, right? And as we know, Mimimi is this type of person who is really proud, so to speak, really loves beauty inside and out, and and it really, I guess, it kind of does make sense for her to be the one who was called out first, right? And then the last one, who was Nadi Sensei, which I don't want to be rude to Nadi or anything. Don't get me wrong, I love Nadi with all my heart, truly. I love all of the girlfriends, right? But Nadi is this sort of character who, I don't know, oh my god, it's blasphemous for me to even say this, but I won't, right? But you get what I mean, right? But you know what, at the end of the day, she still won first place, baby. Woo! And finally, at one of the last panels, there's a 2-pager where we'd see all of the girlfriends and their dresses with first place written on top of them, beside them, right? And when I mean all the characters, and I mean all characters in dresses, including Rentaro. It's 100 chapters in, and all the heroines are, they're still all winners, right? And in the chapters, right, the chapters that follow on, it still embodies that whole no heroines are left behind ideal. Truly, right? This chapter also really gives us a reminder as well, or a sort of takeaway, right, that each of these heroes that we've come across in this great, amazing manga has great substance, great importance, and such vitality and necessity to this manga series. This manga wouldn't be possible without the girlfriends, right? Without these characters. And that whole accounting of all the girlfriends just makes us feel like we just couldn't forget them that easily. And I suppose that's also one other thing that we can, at least for me, that I could get from this chapter, is that level of unperishability, right, amongst the heroines. Sort of reigniting the flame as to why we love these heroines in the first place, no matter their personalities, their quirks, how eccentric they are, how odd they can be. We still love them anyway, right? And it goes to show that they are really beautiful in their own way. It's kind of cliche, yeah, but I don't know, man. It's just beautiful to watch, to read, rather. And with that being said, take care, family.